Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. I am your host with the most, Malc. Tonight with me as always, the greatest American commentator of them all, Tim. How you doing, mate? You alright?
How you doing, Malc, on this fine day, or a fine night actually where you are, as you are actually an ocean away from me. I am so excited. It is Brazil. I have been looking forward to this for so long. I've been looking forward to this at least since the 100th Realistic Performance Race, which, if you guys missed, was last Tuesday.
It was last Tuesday. It was the 100th race last week where Sheepy won it. It was a brilliant race at the Austrian Grand Prix. Do you agree, Tim?
It was magnificent, Malc. Brilliant doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. It was a wonderful race, and the perfect, absolutely perfect way to just say, hey, you know what, this is our 100th race, just absolute storybook fashion.
Absolutely. It was one of the classic races of all time, and what a way to mark the 100th race. But tell you what, this is the 101st race of the Realistic Performance League. There's only a few stats to mention about tonight for the Realistic Performance League before we start off with the qualifying lap here. So Spud will be on his 98th race start here. He's 2 off after tonight, 2 off for the 100 marker here as well. Nigel Gash on his 86th, and Mike to do his 80th race here as well. We come up to, Lozak is done. Going into the pits there, which I was trying to hope that he would do the qualifying lap there. He's just teasing us. He's absolutely teasing us. Madness. But like I said, we're going to do the actual qualifying lap now with Mr. P now. He's in the Ferrari car now. Let's see what we can try to do. Passing into turn 2, 3. We come down here into the DRS straights now. End of the first sector. He's got purple there. He's just behind Mr. Sky C now. Passing to turn 4, then into turn 5, where so many incidents galore there that people have to watch out for. Oh, Mr. P has invalidated his lap there, so he will not do the lap here, but we're still watching it from his point of view here. Passing into turn 6, 7, and then into turn 8, which is the Laranja corner, then into turn 9, and then coming up to, which is up here as well. He's just letting some of the drivers through, which might be one of the Red Bulls. Give that to Mike, actually. Watch it from his point of view. Passing into turn 10, then into turn 11 now, which is the end of the second sector now. He's not purple there. This is to turn 12. This is 13 now, so between 12 and 13, this is the part where you have to be absolutely crucial here. And then into turn 14 now. The second lot of the DRS straight in. Mr. Skies has got the fast up the race now with a 1:10.056. Oh, Mr. Mike! Mike's going to the pits there. Just as I was watching him there, he was teasing us. He's absolutely teasing us, but Luke Bailey moves up to first place with a 109.9. But can Stephen did a 111.4. Tim!
Yeah, currently watching Sab in the Haas, who is on his flying lap. Sab looks like he's actually struggling a little bit. He's just really not arguing into the corners, although he does look like he's taking it easy, so this will not be a pole lap from him. However, Lozak is currently on his out lap, so maybe he's not going to tease us this next time. Once he finishes this out lap and starts a flying lap, maybe then he'll be able to set a time. But I just find it funny. We don't even get a lap in, and already someone's teasing Malc.
Yeah, already. We just missed some of the laps here because as soon as I watch them, they're going into the pits. Madness stuff here, but we're just watching Lozak still do his lap in here now. Sab's coming up to the start finish line straight now. He moves up to 9th with a 118.2, but he's going to try and do it again there. Sheepy, the winner of the 100th race, moves up to 4th with a 110.1 as well. Good evening to everyone that's joining the session here. 13 minutes 25 left here. With the Brazilian track here, Tim, have you driven around here much? Do you like I know you said you like the track, but do you prefer racing around here all the time, or do you prefer it when it happens?
I actually do prefer racing around, and I like driving around the course, specifically the third and final sector. You know, that straightaway, even though it's sort of a turn and sort of a straightaway, it's just, you can get so much speed. It's so fun, and really just the entire third sector of this track is probably one of my favorite sectors out of all the tracks. It's just so fun to drive around, and I love going back and watching all the old videos, you know, not just from the 90s, but even from the 2000s and 2010s as well. It's something about this track I really, really love. And, you know, maybe the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix and how action-packed that race was, maybe that kind of helped cement that love of the track in my brain. But whatever it is, it's just so amazing. So I'm glad that it's on the Invictus schedule. And as fun as I find driving the track, watching it is a lot less stressful.
Yeah, watching this is just absolutely manic stuff here as well. Unfortunately, to spoil the party here, one of the drivers cannot get back into the car when they've had a little bit of a disconnection just before we started the qualifying here. So normally, Invictus, normally within the first 5 minutes, if you can't get in or you've been kicked out for no reason at all, the lobby will be restarted. Anyway, so unfortunately, the times that we're seeing here is not the proper times here, so we're going to have to do a restart of the race, of the qualifying itself again, because of Simon cannot get back into his car, just got kicked as soon as we started the lobby here. So we will kick off with the new lobby in a moment or two, but while we're watching it here, looking at the times there as well, Tim, is there anyone that you think that should do well here after what you've seen as like a pre-test, shall we say?
Well, first Stan's got a pretty good time, but I mean, of course, that's the easy one. He's the one sitting on the top of the board right now. Mr. Skyzito in the Williams with a 1:10.0. He is not far off of Ferocious Stan's time. And again, he's maybe an easy choice because he's the defending champion. But you got to remember, and this is not a jab at Frank Williams, but he is in a Williams. You know, it's just a fact of the matter that car is, you know, at a performance disadvantage versus the other cars. So to already be sitting third with a 1:10 and 2/10 off of the current pole time, I think that's a pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, like I said, it's with the track itself. We're just going to have to restart it in a moment or two. But looking at it from this point of view, we're going to stop the session here, and we'll hopefully get a new invite into the new lobby here, before hopefully no one will get kicked out in the first 5 minutes here, because otherwise we'll have to do another restart at that point. So bear with us a sec, guys. We will kick off in a moment or two. If you just joined, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing happened. We will try and do a restart here. Normally within the first 5 minutes we will have to do the restart of the lobby in case if anyone gets kicked for different circumstances and stuff. We're just going to try and get the lobby through. If you bear with us a sec, we will do that now. Have you got the invite, Tim?
Yes.
Okay, so if you could send me some spare invites, I'll send you some spare invites as well. We're just going to join the lobby and spectate. So bear with us a sec, guys. We're just trying to get ourselves prepped up and ready to go for the restart of the qualifying. So if you just joined, ladies and gentlemen, we had a little bit of a teaser to start off with in the qualifying, haven't we, Tim? With the Brazilian Grand Prix. Now, this is the 101st race of the Realistic Performance League at the glorious race of Brazil. With this, is there any drivers that you recommend to do well here tonight, or are you not going to say until we find out from the qualifying at the end?
Really, I'm not going to say until we find out from the qualifying because, you know, like I said, Ferocious Dan with the provisional pole at the time that we had to leave the session, you know, that was a pretty good time, and Mr. Sky Z just 2/10 off of that in third. You know, I mean, I'm seeing, you know, the normal guys that, you know, are usually fast, but you know, really anything can happen, and only about half the field got to set a lap in, so it's really not fair to use that time to judge their performance just yet. But at the end of this coming qualifying session, then we're going to get a really good look at and see who's going to do what.
Yeah, absolutely. I think from what I saw with the pace of the drivers, I don't know if that's it could be their actual ones anyway. But I like it how you can see the times and you think, oh, that's the times that you would expect to do. But it just depends on how they can try and do it again. It's like saying to you, I could get the fastest lap here or do well in qualifying, but you could practice every day. But you need to do it, capitalise on the day of the races as well. But let's see what all the guys are going to do here at this point in time with the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League, for the 101st time of the race here. This is I forgot to mention it as well. This is the seventh time we have hosted Brazil at the Realistic Performance League. Unbelievable stuff. We're joined. It's only one place behind, one race behind Great Britain and Bahrain as the most used tracks in the Realistic Performance League of all the seasons we've had. So we're just waiting for the guys to get themselves prepped up and ready to go. We're not going to do the qualifying lap again, as in what we normally do with the streams anyway. But from this point of view on, I think we just want to try and see what they're going to try and do on this qualifying here. Will they go try and risk it for a biscuit here, or will they try and do everything possible here? We'll have to find out in a moment or two. But we're just trying to get that set up and back there. Now, the tyre strategies to go for. Do you know the tyre strategies, Tim? Because if you're not, I'll tell you now. If you're not sure, or you can have a guess if you want, while we're waiting for the drivers to get themselves prepped up and ready to go.
Go ahead.
Okay. The quickest strategy to go for is the soft hards. So a one-stop strategy around Brazil. I mean, some people can do that, but they can do like 2 stops if they wanted to, but they just need to capitalise on the safety car, which it has been effective since the update of the game here. So it could be all hell break loose here if you don't be careful here at this point in time. So soft hards is the strategy to go for. Oh, Jos is disqualified from the session from blocking the pit lane. That's a bit weird. So Jos is out of the qualifying already. That's a bit random. So Jos is just having one of those wretched looks here recently. So I'm hoping he'll try and bounce back in the race itself tonight. But with the strategies and with the tables itself, Mr. Skies is in first with 82 points. TL4S is in second with 64 points. Sab is in third with 54 points. Stan is in fourth with 53 points. Nojagash is in fifth with 47 points. Tom Balanch is in sixth with 47 points. Luke Bailey is in 7th with 45 points. Jos is in 8th with 36 points. O'Steve is in 9th with 31 points. Ozone Typhoon is in 10th with 30 points. And the rest are under 30 points indeed. But the title can be decided tonight here, Tim, with Mr. Sky C. As long as he gets outscored TL4S, because it's an 18-point gap between first and second. If TL4S gets a 0 point or not get as close to Mr. Sky C as possible, if the gap is 15 points, I think it's not going to happen. I think we might have the title decided here tonight, I think. But it all depends if TL4S, he basically needs to win both races pretty much. The maximum that he can get is 94 points, Tim. Do you think TL4S will challenge Mr. Sky C for the last 2 races, or do you think the title will decide tonight? Tim? I'm sorry, guys. I think we've got some technical difficulties here. Mr. P is in pole position here with 109.124 here. I believe we've lost a bit of communication here, so bear with us a sec, guys. I'm sorry about this. Tim? You alright, Meg? How you doing, mate? You alright? I'm not sure what's happened with Tim. He's not on the... We'll carry on as normal, but hopefully we'll try and get back with him as soon as possible here. We've got 14 minutes, 10 left here of the qualifying. Nitrogash is in the Merc here. He needs to try and push that car to limit here. Lozak, the F2 champion, is in second place with a 109.683. Ferocious standing at 109.8. Nitrogash. Yeah, we're just waiting. We've just got some technical difficulties here from Tim's mic. Hopefully we'll get that back up as quickly as possible. But just watching Nitrogash now coming to do his proper lap in here, passing into turn. I think Tim has lost communication as well, so hopefully he'll try and get back here as quickly as possible. But Nitrogash going through the S's section here. So let's see what happens here. Can he... Oh, he went to the back of the car. He went to the grass there. He's come up to the turn 10 now. So this is the part where you have to go sweep down, feel like you're on a roller coaster ride here. Passing into turn 11 there at the end of the second sector there. He's not quick. He's not quick on there. So let's see what he can try to do on the third sector there. This is the DRS straight here. Coming up here. Let's see what he can try and do here. Passing into 12, 13, 14. Oh, he's teasing us. He's absolutely teasing us. Madness. So Spud is going to try and do is push this car to limit here with the Merc here. So the Merc is going to try and push that car. He moves up to 9th place with a 113.0. Oh, Stephen did a 110.5. Luke Bailey did a 110.3. Sheepy did a 110. Flat there. TL Full Press 110. Mr. Skysy did 109.9. Hopefully we'll try and get confirmation from Tim here in a moment or two. So we'll just try and see what Mike can do here during this qualifying lap here. We've got 12 minutes left here. 12 minutes left of the qualifying here. Let's see what Mike can do here. He's going to try and push that Red Bull car as much as possible here. Like I said, Mike is on. He's returned back after a bit of a break from the Tuesday nights. He's coming back and he did some great racing here, and he's really up for it on the F3 League as well. So Tim is just left the session of the commentators box. So hopefully he'll try and get back as quickly as possible. But Mike will try and get that car as quick. Oh, guys! Every time when I watch, they go to the pits. But Sab's not. Sab's going through the start finishing line straight now. He moves up to third. He moves up to third there with a 109.7. A 109.7 there. So bear with us a sec, guys. I'm just going to try and invite Tim back into the commentators box. Tim, can you hear me?
Now.
Tim, can you hear me now? Yes, you can.
Now. Awesome. You got me?
Yes, got you now. Right.
Awesome.
So, again, we're sorry for any technical difficulties, guys. Tim's back in live and exclusive here. So, while we just get Tim to get himself just a little bit prepped up and ready to go, we're just watching Mr. Skysy now doing his lapping now. Going to pass into turn 13 now. He's hit the grass there a little bit there. So let's see what he can try and do here. He's going to try and push. Oh, guys! Come on! Sab will have to go back into the pits. Mr. P, let's see what he can try and do. 109.1. Let's see if he can try. He's in the second sector now. Through the S's section there. Let's see if he can try and push that Ferrari. Fourth Ferrari. Nice. But if you like what you've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here on the channel for the Realist Performance League on Tuesday nights as well. So Mr. P, passing into turn 12 now into 13. Then into 14 now. Do it with the DRS straight now. Let's see what we can try and do here. I'm not seeing any purple sectors here. Oh, I stand corrected there. He did a 108.9 there, Tim. 108.9. Are you all set, ready to go?
Yeah, in a 108.9 from F1 Speed, that is a really good time. So good job on him. Sheepy running second at 109.5 at the moment. Currently watching Nitro Gash at his lap, a 111.316 for Nitro Gash in the Mercedes. So that is good enough for 10th place at the moment for him. So far we have 3 drivers who have yet to set a time, and unfortunately with Goss and his DSQ will not be setting a time in this session. So Mike, Colin J, and Diamond, all 3 need to set a time, and they're all chasing that bright red Ferrari of F1 Mr. P on top of the board. Yeah,
let's see what we can try and do. They're all trying to get closer to the 108 here, but Frostad did a 109.5. He's only 100th off Sheepy's time there, off second place there. He'd be absolutely fuming. But Lozak did a 109.6, so I'm just going to watch it from his point of view here. But unless you're watching someone there, Tim, who are you watching so far?
I'm actually still on Nitro Gash. We're going to go and take a look at Mr. Sky Z, because he is just about now entering the 3rd sector, or approaching the 3rd sector rather. And he will be starting his flying lap here momentarily. And as you were saying before we had our technical difficulties, let's go back to talk about that championship battle. I believe you said that it is an 18-second gap between Mr. Sky Z and TL4S, and that it might be decided tonight.
It might be decided tonight. We've got yellow flag sectors 2 and 3. Sorry about that. It will be decided tonight here because it all depends. It might be decided tonight because it depends on how TL4S can try and stop Mr. Sky Z on track here. If TL4S does not get 2 points or more, so if he gets 1 or 2 or 0 points, that's it. Let's see what. That's it. It'll be 15 points the gap. It'll be a mammoth task because Mr. Skysea does not lose any points at all, or get any DNFs, rarely at all. It all depends if Mr. Skysea can just capitalise. All he has to do is just outscore TL4S. That's all he has to do. That's all he has to do. If he does that, he has won the Drivers' Championship battle. But do you, as we had the technical difficulties, do you think it would be decided tonight here, or do you think it would go down to the wire next week at Mexico? Tim.
Honestly, it is hard to say. I mean but the question I actually have for you: if you're TL4S, what do you do? What is your strategy tonight, and how determined are you to try to get that extra point for the fastest lap on top of getting the best finish?
That is a really good question, actually, because TL4S, he needs to match or do something different to what Mr. Skysea does. And Lozak just moved to second place with 109.4. But regarding to your question there, Tim, with TL4S, he'll need to do something here, because he's had that performance. He's got the cut. He's got the driver skills on that. But I can't see anyone try and stop Mr. Skysea winning his 4th title in a row, 4 seasons in a row, Mr. Skysea, for the Realistic Performance League. If I was TL4S, I would just gamble and just try and get as quick as possible with the softs and just hope for the best that Mr. Skysea does not get a point. But it's very, very rarely that he does get a 0 or a DNF during the race itself. It's very, very rare. But he needs to outscore him. He needs to get a good qualifying start and get ahead. If he doesn't get that, I think it might be a long race here tonight. How about you, Tim?
Yeah, Mr. Sky Z is kind of like the Invictus Racing League's Mr. Consistency, I guess you could say, because you've said that he has won championships without even winning a race. And as you said, if he were to win tonight, it would be his 4th championship in a row. So it's very impressive, first of all, for Mr. Sky Z to be able to not only win the championship, but win it 3 and maybe even 4 times in a row. And, to really to have his nose in that battle, it is very impressive because you have to be so consistent. You know, in almost the year that I've been commentating for the Invictus Racing League, I've noticed that there are a lot of outliers that will go into whether or not you do well in a race. You know, you could have internet issues, and that could end a race and you get 0 points. Or, you know, it just, as is the nature of racing, you can have just a disastrous turn one and absolute carnage break out, and then boom, there's your race done. So for Mr. Sky Z to be able to put himself in the position to fight for a championship season after season, and not only that, but to continue to win it 3, maybe 4 times in a row if he wins it tonight, that's super impressive. And I'm not wanting to take anything away from any of the other drivers, especially TL44S. He's the man sitting there in second, and mathematically, it's still possible. Each one of these drivers, you know, they're dedicated and they're talented, because I know I couldn't keep up with them. It's just that I find it so impressive that you can just go back to back to back. It is just pure consistency, and I love it.
Absolutely. But you forgot to back as well, if it could happen here tonight, with the 4th title, that could happen here tonight. Nitro Gas just moved up to 2nd place here with a 109.433, 500s quicker than Lozak's time there. Good evening to Daz. How you doing, mate? You alright? He says, good evening, Malc and Tim. Hoping for a great race. Let's hope we have a crack with a race here. Yellow flag sectors 1 and 2 at the moment here. So let's see what happens here. Let's see where Sab is. Sab is 109.7. There's not been much drivers here. Well, I'm going to watch TL44S now because he's going to do his proper qualifying lap here. He needs, if he matches Mr. Sky Z, he needs to try and get a 10th from somewhere. He needs to get a purple from somewhere. I know I'll probably sound harsh and try and force, like, use the force on TL44S, but at the moment here, he needs to do something here. If he wants to win the title so badly, he needs to outscore Mr. Sky Z massively. Meg says, hey, one of Sky Z titles came when we ran 2 realistic leagues side by side, and I won the other league title. Yeah, absolutely, Meg, absolutely. But yeah, like I said, Mr. Sky Z won 3 titles, but out of the one of them, we did the 2 leagues, and Meg did win the other league, as well. So let's just see what happens here at the moment in time. And let's see what TL44S can do. He needs to try and push that car. He needs to get down to the low 109s if he wants to stand any chance here. Yellow flags that does 1 and 2. No, it's not improved his time here. It didn't show red or anything like that. So still watching. So he's not going to improve there. So Mr. Sky Z, let's see what he can try and do here. Mr. P is already out here, 108.9, 5 tenths off the next competitor here. So let's see what happens here. Yellow flag sets us 1 and 2 at the moment here. I think that might be, yeah, that might be TL4S. So he can't improve there. He cannot improve. So all the drivers are all out here and much as possible here. So let's see what Mr. Sky Z can do. He's in the 2nd sector now. He's coming up to the tricky S's. The left-hander, then the right-hander. I feel like you're going down. Feel like down a roller coaster, and then going back up the hill here as well. Coming into, which is turn 10 now. So coming up to down the hill again here for turn 11 here. We've not heard anything from the weather crew, so as far as we know, it's going to be a dry race here. Oh, Mr. Sky Z. It's not purple. It's not purple on 2nd sector here, but he's trying to push that car with the Williams here. Yellow flag set us 2 and 3 at the moment here. Let's see what Mr. Sky Z can do. Sab's retired from the session here. Sab's retired. Let's see what he can do. No! He does not improve here. Mr. P is retired. Mr. P is retired from the session here. We got 10 seconds left here. 10 seconds left here. So let's see what happens here. Let's see what Simon can try and do here. He's coming up to the tricky S's section here. Qualifying has stopped. The qualifying has now stopped here. He's passing the 2nd sector into the 3rd one now. Can Simon try and push that car? Passing into turn 13 now. Up the hill here with turn 14 now. With the DRS straight now. Coming up to 15 now. Down the straight now. He moves up to second. He moves up to second here. What a drive there by 100th quicker than Nitrogash. So Nitrogash drops down to third place here. Sheepy in fourth. Lozak's doing his lap in there now. He's doing a 109.482 here. Let's see if he can try and capitalise here. See where O'Steven is. O'Steven moves up to 6. He's just crossed over the line. He's crossed over the line now. Mr. Sky Z moves up to 7th there with 109.5. Advantage, Mr. Sky Z. Advantage, Mr. Sky Z. Lozak coming up to the final bits of the corners now. He needs to push that car. He needs to find something that even wants to try and get second place here. Oh no! 109.482. That's it. That is it. The qualifying has stopped. All the drivers have crossed over the line now. There is no more now. So Spud has retired from the session here. What a qualifying here. What unbelievable stuff here as well. Let's see what's going to happen here so far in the qualifying. I can't wait for it as well. Here are your short qualifying classification for the Brazilian Grand Prix. For the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League, you got F1 Mr. P in first, Simon is in second, Nitrogash is in third, Sheepy is in fourth, Lozak is in fifth, O'Stevens in sixth, Mr. Skyzy is in seventh, Froshistan 8th, Sab 9th, TL4 Fresh is in 10th, Luke Bailey 11th, Sir Spud 12th, Mike 13th with no time. Colin J, no time, but he hasn't done a qualifying at all. And Yoss is the only unfortunate one that had the DSQ right at the start of the qualifying itself. So we're just going to waiting for the classification to run up, and then we'll talk about the usual stuff. We'll do the usual advertisements, guys. And then we do talk about the race as well. Talk with Tim about the thoughts of the race coming up soon. This is the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League, live and exclusive for you guys on the Tuesday nights at 8 PM with myself and the greatest American commentator of them all, Tim. With me as always. Not only we do the Tuesday nights, we also do the Monday nights with Gareth and Sab, the greatest commentary duo of them all as well. They do the bestest, and at the F1 League. They used to be the Gnosis League, but it is the F1 League. It is like the top flight, the Premier League, the quickest drivers in that league as well. Not only we do Mondays and Tuesdays, but we've also got the Equal Leagues, the Equal Performance Leagues on the Wednesday nights, sorry, with F2 and F3. With F2 with Warriors Lander and Energy Dan with the commentary as well. And currently myself for the F3 League as well. Let's see, it's bestest ones of them all. But also we've got the podcast as well on the Thursday nights as well, with Gareth and Sab. Make sure you tune in on that on the YouTube channel as well on Thursday nights. They talk about the F1 and also talk about the Invictus as a whole as well in that podcast. They do a brilliant podcast. Need to listen to that as well. Not only we're on the YouTube channel for the social media stuff, but we've also got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. And I tell you what. You need to like, subscribe, and follow as well for all the latest updates on those channels as well. Now, if you're not into F1, we've got FIFA League as well with Colin J and Aaron J Spence do the admin stuff. So if you want to contact with them to do the F1, make sure you do that. But the most important of all is check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com for all the latest updates there. If you like what you see with the battles on the racing and you want to join in, why don't you register, sign up at the Apply to Race form on the form part there, and hopefully one of the admins will get in contact with you, and hopefully we'll get you in as early as next week for the finale race, subject to availability as well. The guys are slowly coming out now with the formation lap. So, Tim, are you there, mate? Are you there? No. Hopefully Tim will come back in a moment or two. So if not, we'll try and do the formation lap. So the formation lap as it is: Mr. P is in first, Simon is in second, Nitrogash is in third, Sheepy in fourth, Lozak in fifth, O Stevens in sixth, Mr. Skyzy in seventh, Fresh is in eighth, Sab is in ninth, TL4 Fresh is in 10th, Luke Bailey, Spud, Mike, Colin J and Yoss are all outside of the top 10, but they have gambled for the mediums and the hards there, which is, I don't blame him. Don't blame those guys there, because it is one of those tracks where the tyre wear is not great here. With the tyre wear, the softs can last about 15 to 16 laps fresh. The mediums can last about 19 to 20 laps fresh. And also the hards can last about 24 to 25 laps on a 36 lap race here. So you can do lap 12, I think, for the softs. And then for the rest, 12, maybe a bit longer actually, lap 14, and then might go longer with 20 laps of the mediums, possibly, but it just depends if they can try and capitalise on the tyre wear. But he'll be on the limiter here. So, Tim, are you back now?
Oh yeah, I am back and I am ready to roll.
I tell you what, Tim, since you're back and ready to go, I'll let you carry on while they're all slowly creeping into the racing grid now. So over to you, Tim.
Very slowly, and this is about the slowest you're going to see these drivers go up this straightaway for the rest of the night. Because for the rest of the night, it's going to be green flag racing, at least I assume so. And it will be very fast, very quick, very intense battles up this sector here. But all the drivers lining up, F1 Mr. P and the Ferrari, your pole sitter, and a really good time at that. Zyman, of course, in second, Nitro Gash in third, Sheepy fourth, fifth is Lozak. O. Steven, Mr. Sky Z, Ferocious Dan Sab, TO4 for S, Luke Bailey, Sir Spud, Mike, Colin J, and Yoss with that disqualification in qualifying. But there you hear those drivers. You see them. They are lined up on the grid, and they are watching the lights, watching the red lights, 3, 4, and 5. No red lights, and it is green for the Invictus Racing League's Performance League Brazilian Grand Prix. And already the Force India, or the racing point machine of Zyman, getting a really bad start. Going into turn 1, he's already dropped down to the third position. F1 Mr. P pulling away, and it is a big shuffle in the back, or in mid-pack. Ferocious Dan currently running side by side, more or less with O. Steven. It is just a big shuffle back there, but so far no contact that I can tell of. It's just a lot of drivers trying to get as much position as they can, but now Williams, the Williams of Mr. Sky Z, was actually forced wide out of that corner, and now he's in the grass. Mr. Sky Z, possibly your champion at the end of the night, but right now only in the 10th position. So Mr. Sky Z early on already struggling, and Yoss has moved from 15th to 11th, so he's at the back of his teammate now.
Yeah, it was just a bit of contact there, which looked like from the back of Mr. Sky Z, Yoss there. So hopefully Mr. P is pushing away now with that Ferrari now. Nigel moves up to second place. Simon moves up to third. Sheepy drops down to fourth place here. But what a manic start here at the Brazilian Grand Prix here for the 101st time here. But yeah, if you like what we see so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to our channel for all the live races here as well. Look at this! Look at this! Mr. P has got the fastest up the race now, 1:16.8. Oh, Mr. Sky, just go around the outside! Come on! Come on! Oh, you could have done it! You could have done it there, but he did not gamble there. Simon. No, actually, TL4 for S is trying to close in on Lozak here for 6th place in. But Tim, who are you watching so far?
Currently watching Sheepy. Lozak goes underneath him. Just all of a sudden, Lozak making the move. So Lozak in 5th, Sheepy in 6th, and already he is on. He's under pressure from TL4 Press and the Alfa Romeo, who actually clipped the grass. TL4 Press, meanwhile, is actually under an enormous amount of pressure from O. Steven and the Red Bull. So it's basically a 3-car battle for the 6th position that we have, as Lozak is now pulling away from the McLaren of Sheepy. But TL44S all on the back bumper of that bright orange McLaren of Sheepy. And Sheepy has got to be sweating in his seat, and you know he's got to be looking behind him. He knows that TL44S is there, and TL44S is a man on a mission. He is 18 points separating him and Mr. Sky Z. As you said during the qualifying session, Mr. Sky Z at the moment is only in the 10th position as now. Sheepy, TL4S and Sheepy. TL4S made the move on Sheepy on the inside. Will he clear him? Yes, he does. Going into 1, so Sheepy now moving back to 7th as they go down through turn 2. TL4S is pulling away from the McLaren. TL4S absolutely a man on the mission, now chasing down his car allocated teammate of Lozak. in the Alfa Romeo, who is in 5th place, but he has got quite a bit of distance to make up before he's going to make a move on him. He's going to have to worry about that bright orange McLaren of Sheepy behind him, who more or less does not look like he's the threat right now. Meanwhile, O'Steven in the Red Bull is getting closer to this battle, and O'Steven is just creeping up on that orange McLaren, and he might be making a move soon, but not just yet, not through this one.
We'll have to wait and see what happens here from O'Steven's point of view here. We're on lap 3 of 36. The DRS should be intact here. They should be intact on the long straights here in the mountains here, but I know we haven't said much here, but Mr. P's pulling away from Nitrogas here. So the Ferrari versus the Merc in the first and second place there. So 1.1 second of a gap here. But as you rightly said here too, we're watching it from O'Steven's point of view here. He might be chosen on Sheepy now, who had a great race last week. But Mr. P's got the fastest of the race down, 1:12.069 there. Oh, Steven makes the move! He makes the move, passing Sheepy there for 7th place there. So he makes the move.
And Mr. Sky Z goes around the outside of Sab, and Sab, there is contact. Sab almost spins it, but he hangs on to it. So Mr. Sky Z in the 9th, Sab in 10th place. There was contact into turn 1, but how those drivers hung on to it, I have no idea. Hats off to the both of them as Sab is trying to make a move on the inside of Mr. Sky Z now, and he absolutely feels that gap, and he is in 9th now and pulling away from Mr. Sky Z. Mr. Sky Z has his sights set on that black and gold Haas machine though, and he is chasing him down, and he is also a man on a mission. TL4 for S, Mr. Sky Z, that is your championship battle for tonight, and it might be decided here. I know Mr. Sky Z wants it to be decided, but he's going to have to get by Sab if he's going to want to work up his way up through the field.
At the moment here, TL4 Fest will have 5 points. So at the moment here, he will have 5 points in the driver standings, which will make him to 69 points. 69 points here. Mr. Sky Z, at the moment, will have 83 points. So at the moment here, it will be a 14-point gap. 14-point gap here. How Sab and Sky Z didn't die turn 1, who knows? That's what Meg said on there. Lozak's gone ahead. Oh, come on, Dan, come on, you can do it. The Brommy is trying to close it on Lozak now. Down in the straight here, on 4th place here. He needs to get past. Oh, come on, get that fire in you. Come on, we want some more battles galore here at the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League here. Oh, this has been a brilliant Brazil battle here. So at the moment, it will probably go down to the final race. If it stays like this, depending on the extra points, fastest lap between TL4 for us and Mr. Scott, if they do get that. But at the moment, it will go down to the final race. As it stands, I know it's only lap 5 of 36, but that is what we see as we get there. Tim.
Currently watching Sab, who is chasing down Sheepy and getting very close, but very close to him is Mr. Sky Z. It is just the same 3-car battle between Sheepy, Sab, and Mr. Sky Z. Mr. Sky Z definitely making it interesting, trying to approach Sab, maybe going to try to make another move on the outside of him, using that DRS as they cross the line and heading to turn 1. Oh! What will happen here? There is a little bit of contact between the Williams and the Haas, and they are side by side, Will going through turns 1 and 2. Mr. Sky Z absolutely bullying his way by Sab to get in front of him, so now move him into the 9th position. He has his sights set on that bright orange McLaren of Sheepy, who is a sitting duck without the DRS. Mr. Sky Z using the DRS to his advantage meanwhile, but not close enough to make a move that time. He still has to worry about Sab, who's going to try to make a move on the inside of him, but not quite, not this time. He just realized he could not do it. But just behind Sab is Mike in the Red Bull. So it is 4-car battle for the 8th position, and Sab is almost touching the back of Mr. Sky Z. He is so very close. He is trying almost to intimidate him, I think. Mr. Sky Z, meanwhile, trying to do the same to Sheepy until he can find a good opportunity to get by him. And you got to be so very close, especially when you are in this kind of championship battle, because if Mr. Sky Z were to wreck out of this race and score 0 points, that would just play into TL44S's hands exactly how he would want it to. So Mr. Sky Z's got to be very careful, but TL4S does as well. Mr. Sky Z using DRS to get by Sheepy on the outside, and he has cleared him as they go into turn 1. So Mr. Sky Z has moved up into the 8th position now and making his way up through the field.
So at the moment here, you get 2 points there. if this is without the fastest lap points. Lozak's dropped down to 6th place. He was having a ding-dong battle with Fresh down there at that moment in time, but still watching. Still
TL4 Press spins. Lozak gets to the back of TL4 Press, and TL4 Press is off the track, and that might kill TL4 Press's chances at a championship.
What happened, Tim? I don't know what happened there, because I was just watching it from Mr. Scousey's point of view. I did not see what happened there from TL4 Press, so you might have seen it a little bit clearer than I have. But what actually happened there?
TL4 Press got by Lozak. That's when I switched to look at him, and I was on board with Lozak, and he got into the back of TL4 Press, and it just spun him around.
So that means... Sorry, Tim, carry on.
No, it's just that he spun around and then he was off track.
Yeah, so that's really, really unlucky there for TL4 Press. So at the moment here, Mr. Scousey will be, well, depending on where Sab is. Sab is only in 9th place at the moment. I mean, if Sab wins it like tonight and next week, that would be like 84 points. That is massive. Oh my days, Sab! Sab! Come on! Come on! You can do it! You can do it! Come on, you can do it! Oh my days! Oh, him and Sheepy having a proper ding-dong battle. Oh my days, Sab's gone on a bit wide there, but Mike will try and join in the battle here. Oh my days, Sab, come on. You can do it. You can do it if you're being good here. Oh, come on. Come on. As I was saying, Sab will be the next challenger, but he's like 28 points behind Mr. Scousey, and at this moment in time here, I think Mr. Scousey will guarantee to win the Drivers' Championship. I think what we need here, and I'm sure the drivers will be absolutely fuming at us, is the safety car. Do you agree?
I don't think a safety car can make this battle any better between Sheepy and Sab, who were both in the grass there for just a minute, and that's going to allow Mike to actually try to stick his nose into the mix. There was a little bit of contact between Sab and Mike, but I don't believe there's any wing damage on that Red Bull, so he dodged a bullet there, because that could have been really bad for both Sab and Mike. Yeah,
it could have been madness stuff there. It could have been collisions galore there, but still passing into turn 1 and then 2, 3 now. Turning to turn 3 now. Sab's getting closer to Sheepy now. Just watching it from Sab's point of view. He needs to get the slipstream off Sheepy here. Michael Rad is... Come on! Oh, yes, you beauty! What a move! What a move there from Sab! Brilliant move there against Sheepy there. Brilliant move there from the Haas car of Sab there, who's trying to push his car to the limit here. At the moment here, Mr. Scousey will win the Drivers' Championship as it stands here tonight. Tim.
And, you know, I'm not going to say congratulations just yet, but later tonight we might be, and it's just very unfortunate for TL4S. It's just, he had a really good run going. He was in front of Mr. Scousey. He was eating away into the points gap, into that deficit, and it just didn't happen.
It absolutely didn't happen there, but I really do. I think if we do get it,
Mike
we might
now
get
making a move on the inside of Sheepy, and he actually used a little bit of the pit lane to do so. Sheepy was trying to go into the pits, but I guess Mike didn't know that, so Mike actually used a little bit of the pit lane to get by Sheepy, and so then Sheepy ducked down into the pits.
Mike is one lucky guy there. Someone did that before. I can't remember who it was, but someone did it before, and I'll tell you what, that would have been a heart attack moment there. I wouldn't do that at the inside the pits and then come out of the pits just to get that extra bit there. That's absolutely madness stuff here. However, I've just noticed on the pits, TL4S went on for another softs there, so I don't know if that's a mistake from the Alfa Romeo crew or what, but he should have gone on the hards there at least. Do you agree with that, Tim?
Honestly, at this point, I don't think he's got anything to lose one way or another. Maybe he's trying to go for the point to get the fastest lap and then hope that he can fit on mediums later and then maybe break into the points position. But honestly, with TL4S at this point, if he was looking for a championship, it's almost entirely over. I almost wonder if he just doesn't, if he doesn't care about his strategy at this point.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens here, Tim. But like I said, the safety car could change things around here. Colin J's out! Colin J's out! What's happened there? Colin J. He's quitting the pits there. I think he's quit inside the pits. Yeah, he has. He's quit inside the pits there. So Spud's got a 3-second tyre penalty for multiple warnings now. So he'll be out. He's outside the points there. But at the moment here, yellow flags on sector 1 because of Colin J. DNF'd inside the pits there. So I'm not sure what happened there. Yellow flag sectors 1 and 2, as you can see on the map there. We've not had the safety car just yet. But I'm surprised that the virtual safety car is not gone yet. So we'll have to find out in a moment or two. But at the moment here, Sab's dropped down to 11th place here. Has he gone to the pits? No, he's made a mistake there by the looks of things. So Sab, yeah, he made a mistake at turn 12, 13, I think it was. Lozak's got a 3-second time penalty on multiple warnings now. Luke Bailey is the closest battle we've got so far between himself and Yoss here for 9th and 10th respectively here on lap 12 and 36 here. Just a third in the race already here. Mr. P is in first, Simon's in second, Nitrocash is in third, Frostan is in fourth. The two Racing Point drivers here, or I used to call them the Force Indy cars, are second and fourth place. O'Stevens in fifth, Lozak is in sixth, Mr. Scorsese is in seventh place. He'll guarantee to win the Drivers' Championship tonight as it stands here. Michael in 8th place, Yoss is in 9th, Luke Bailey is in 10th place, Sab is in 11th, Spud is in 12th, Sheepy is in 13th, and TL4 Race is in 14th place, and Colin J is the only one who's at the DNF so far in this race. Tim?
Yeah, currently riding on board with Luke Bailey, who is in the 10th position in his Renault, chasing down Yoss in the Williams, just 6/10 of a second separating these two drivers at the moment, and Luke Bailey about to get DRS, so he might be taking advantage of that. Of course, where pit stops have already started to happen, I would look for, well, I was going to say I would look for one of them to pit soon, but Yoss is on the hards where Luke Bailey's on the mediums.
Yeah, I'm sorry about this, Tim. Lozak's out of the race already here. So he's out of the race inside the pits. Again, so that's two drivers who have been in the pits and they've retired. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm speechless here. So that's twice now that we didn't get the... Well, Lozak is out of the race now and has left the session here. But I'm speechless here. We've had two drivers who've gone into the pits and they've automatically retired from the race here. Tim?
I don't know really what to make of that, but I'd say TL44S is starting to get a little glimmer of hope. He's running in 13th now, and I really don't see it as a huge possibility for him to really make up more than one position or so on his own just because of how far back he is. But if 3 or 4 drivers were to wreck out and he were to get the fastest lap, he would still be in this race.
He would still be in this race, don't get me wrong, he will still be in this race, but it just depends on how he can try and capitalise and get some more points here. But at the moment here, with Mr. Scorsese in 4th place here, it's a mammoth task. A mammoth task here tonight. But Nitrocash, O'Steven and Sab are in the pits for their one and only pit stop for the hard tyres here. So that'll be the one-stop strategy here. But with the drivers who are on the medium tyres, you can go medium hards, but with the medium hards, it'll be like a 3-second difference, I believe, between the softs and the soft hards to the medium hards during the strategies here. But I'm going to go to Spud. Sheepy! Sheepy! Come on! Oh, yes! Yes, you beauty, Sheepy! Oh, what a move! He's going to make 2 moves here. Oh, I thought he was going to try and make another move on Sab, who just come out of the pits there. Oh, my days. Mr. P is going to the pits now. Mr. P is going to the pits now. Tim, what a race so far.
Yeah, currently watching this battle between Sheepy and Sab. Sheepy, right now, it just seems like he's kind of biding his time, not wanting to take too many risks at the moment. But running in 11th here, trying to chase down that Haas. But Sab actually looks like he's kicked it into high gear. So Sab is actually getting really good exits out of these corners and starting to pull away while Sheepy is just kind of riding at the moment. Sheepy does have fresher, or excuse me, no, Sab has the fresher tires than Sheepy, but only by 4 laps. So the tire wear is close between these two. But Sab, with those slightly fresher tires, might just be getting a bit of an advantage. But Sheepy, with the DRS, as they head to turn 1, really put a big gain on Sab there. So out of turn 2 and out of turn 3, Sab's still in 10th, but Sheepy's going to get another DRS here in just a minute. But will he be able to do anything with it as he's trying to use the slipstream, but he's just not close enough, and it's not going to happen this time. But here in a few laps' time, Sheepy might be able to work his way up there.
He might be working his way up there as much as possible. We've got a couple of battles going on here. We've got Mr. P and Mike for 3rd and 4th. We've got Yoss and Luke Bailey for 5th and 6th. And also, we're watching live and exclusive for you guys, the Sab and Sheepy battle here. But what's interesting here, though, also, is Mr. Skysy's gone for the medium tyre. He's gone for the medium tyre here. Now, in the telemetry, I predicted 19 to 20 as the maximum that you can get fresh on the medium tyres. So, do you think that's a mistake from the Williams crew there for Mr. Skysy team, or do you think he knows what he's playing at with the tyre saving strategy, Tim?
It's risky, nonetheless, but I feel like if he wasn't confident, he would not have fitted that medium tire. That being said, it's going to be a very, very bad time for Mr. Skyzy when it gets down to about 5 to 10 laps to go, because by that time I'd say that his tires will just be shot.
And it will be shot there as well. But TL4FS made the move on to Spud there for 12th and 13th place. So TL4FS has moved up to 12th place here. Simon is going to the pits. Stan needs to get into the pits here as well, so he might have to do another lap here. Yeah, he's going to have to do another lap here. So 16 laps on the softs. So that's the limit, I said with the telemetry. That's the limit that you could do with those softs. But obviously with the mediums, I think Stan will be alright, and same with Simon will be alright. But I'm just a bit worried about Sky C, because I think the tyre wear will kick off in a moment or two at that point in time. But Luke Bailey try and push that car with the mediums here in 5th place and 4th place here. But with the battles going on here, Mr. P will overtake Stan when he gets into the pits as well. But Mr. P's done a brilliant job here tonight, don't you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Mr. P, and I believe it was last week that, he was really feeling bad about his performance. And now he gets the pole and was leading for quite a while, and when Ferocious Dan pits, he'll be leading again. And not just leading, but leading with a 1.8 second lead. At least at the moment, that's what it is. Yeah,
just at the moment here, a mistake could happen here. Same with any drivers here. I will tell you a story. Well, Colin J's out of the race here. I'm sure he'll probably watch back here and look at it again. But, Ferocious Dan's going to the pits now. Colin J was battling out with Spud in the final race at Brazil, ironically at Brazil. All he had to do was beat Spud on track as well. So Spud was nowhere near to win the race, nowhere near to beat Colin J on track. And Colin J on turn 5, which I'm just watching from Yoss's point of view here. So Yoss coming up to the end of the first sector at turn 4. At turn 5, he lost the car because he was pushing it to try and win the race here. All he had to do was just beat Spud to win the Drivers' Championship. That's all he had to do. And then he completely lost the car and crashed there. So that cost him the Drivers' Championship and brought Spud to win his first ever World Drivers' Championship title in his records at Invictus Racing League. TL4 versus got 3 second time penalty for multiple points. So Spud had a penalty earlier on while we was watching some of the battles earlier on in the race itself. But I'm just saying, yellow flag set to 2. Oh my days! Nitrogash has made a mistake. Nitrogash has made a mistake before turn 10 there, and it's brought Mr. Sky into 8th place here. And Nitrogash has lost a bit of his front wing. Oh no! The tyres are still. We've got the tyre wear. The tyre wear will still be fuming at that point there. But we've got Simon trying to close in on Luke Bailey now. Luke Bailey's trying to close in on Yoss now for 3rd place here. 3 car battle here for 3rd place. Tim, I'll let you do the honours to carry on with that.
Been watching it for quite a few battles here, quite a few laps here, just watching this battle kind of develop as Luke Bailey using the DRS to try to get close to Jos, but not quite able to do it at the moment. And he's got to worry about that racing point of Zyman just behind him, so Zyman's got a front row seat to this battle, but Zyman wants to actually be in front of this battle. But of course, that is a podium position that Jos is currently riding in, and a good job to Jos. He is 18 laps on those hard tires at the moment, but he started last because he was disqualified from the qualifying session, and he's already moved his way up to third. Good job on Jos. Yeah,
fair play to Jos. He'll be my he'll be our driver of the day, I think, if he stays. Obviously, he has to pit anyway because that is the tyre wear that he started on as well. With Mike and Luke Bailey doing a brilliant job with the medium tyres as well. I did say about 20 laps on the mediums will be the limiter as well. But let's see what they can do here. 3-car battle here for third place here. Jos is doing a brilliant job here. Luke Bailey as well doing a good job here. But Simon will get ahead of Jos and Luke Bailey, while these two drivers will have to go into the pits here. Nigel Gash has left the session here. He had DNF'd earlier on in the pits. Again, I think he was fuming about what happened there at turn 9, I believe. Oh, God! Simon nearly trying to get past Luke Bailey there. From that camera view I had, it looked like he was about to make the move there. But absolutely manic stuff here. Tim!
So, question for you, Malc, is Zyman's actually making a move on Luke Bailey going on the inside? Yes! Zyman will clear the Renault, so Racing Point moves into 4th. Luke Bailey in the Renault to the 5th position. Now Zyman has his sights set on Jos, but Luke Bailey has his sights set on that bright pink car that was behind him just a lap ago.
Oh my days! What a move! What a move there from Simon! Unbelievable stuff there. He had the lightning effect there with that Racing Point car. Unbelievable stuff there. But will Luke Bailey will be fuming trying to get back to try and close it, but it looks like he can't. He's drifted away from Simon there. But Simon's close to the yes! Come on! They're going to stop us on here. 2 to bed. We've got 2 to bed moment here. You're holding on. Oh, yes! Yes! What a move! What a move there from Simon. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. Tim!
Are you sure that it's TL4S and Mr. Sky Z that we're watching for the championship battle? Because someone needs to tell Zyman that, because he's driving like he could win the championship tonight.
He can, but obviously he can't. Obviously, in real life, he can't. But it feels like he can. But his performance here tonight, he did a brilliant 2 overtake moves there. Fantastic stuff there as well. Mr. P in 1st place. Mike is in 2nd place. Mike is going to try and go for the soft tyres. Possibly. Yeah, but that'll be a limiter. He might need to push that mediums a little bit longer than ever before if he doesn't want to hit over the barrier of the softs to kick off at that point in time. But Tim, what a race. What's your best moment so far?
Honestly, I was really liking the championship battle that we were having between Mr. Sky Z and TL4S. That came to an unfortunate end, but I was really enjoying that, and I was just enjoying watching Mr. Sky Z try to work his way up through the field, while meanwhile TL4S was trying to hang on and gain as much as possible, and there for a moment he did. And then, he had the contact with Lozak, and it sent him off, and, the rest is history, and that's how he wound up in what is now the 12th position. But nonetheless, it was entertaining to watch. Then later on, we had the battle with Sheepy and, Sab. And it's just been a lot of battles. Maybe it's not Austria degree of battles. Maybe it's not up to the Austria standards. But for Brazil, this is absolutely wonderful. I love this. This is why I love Brazil, because you see these battles.
Yeah, because it's just one of those battles at Brazil. It's one of the famous tracks at the Interlagos track there as well. It's just absolutely magnificent stuff there as well. Mike's going to the pits now for his 1-0 pit stop. Luke Bailey's going to the pits now. He's trying to match what Mike's doing there. So Jos is still going out for more. The gap's a little bit bigger now, so let's see what we can try and... I'm going to watch it from the standings here of the pits. So Mike's gone for the soft tyres now. Same with Luke Bailey. Luke Bailey's gone for the soft tyres now. So the two drivers will have a ding-dong battle here for at least pushing up to to at least push up a few more places here. I reckon Mike and Luke Bailey might go for 4th, 5th place positions here, depending on where everyone else is. Do you agree with that, Tim?
It's definitely possible. But one question I have for you is
Okay.
Yas. What do you do if you're Yas? You got 22 laps on those hard tires, and realistically speaking, they could probably last a few laps longer. But do you pit for the mediums or do you pit for the softs?
If I was him, I would pit for the softs, because it's about 14 laps now. 14 laps is left. He can go a little bit longer, but he will penalise for himself by losing so much time on the tyre wear at the same time. So you have to be careful there. So Yoss is going to the pits, so I will not be surprised if he goes for the softs. If he goes for mediums, he's played it safe. If he's going for the softs, he will do it, but he'll have to watch out at probably about the last 2 laps of the race here. But it just depends. He might have got a better tyre wear. Who knows? He's got on the softs. He's got on the softs there, Tim. Do you agree with that, or do you think you should have gone for the mediums here?
I was actually thinking that he needed to go on the softs, but I was expecting him to maybe stay out for another couple of laps, just because, you know, those soft tires, where they wear down so much quicker. We've seen drivers today stretch it out to 15 or 16 laps, but it must have been an absolute monster to drive.
It'd be a monster to drive here, but I think he'll be all right. Mike's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. He's in 6th place at the minute here. The soft drivers will catch up to the medium and hard drivers here. Let me have a look at the gaps between Mike and Mr. P, just for a brief moment there. So it's a 25-second gap. Normally with the softs, they're normally about 6 to 8 tenths quicker than the medium tyres. So that's per lap compared to the mediums. The hards will be 1.2 or 1.4. So Mike will definitely catch up to Mr. Skyseed, don't get me wrong, but it all depends on if he can try and push on to try and get on to O'Stephen later on. We'll find out in a moment or two here. But Mike's got the fastest up the race now with a 1:11.094 now. But watch out for Mike. He's one of the best defenders that we've ever seen. He's hard to get past as well. Tim.
Yeah, and Mike running in 6th place there. He's going to have to deal with Luke Bailey. Well, maybe though. Luke Bailey's got 2 laps on the soft tires, so does Mike. It's 2.9 seconds. So Luke Bailey, he's got to be pretty fast if he's going to catch him before the end of this race, because, as I said, that is a 2.9, at the moment, 2.8 second gap. So he might have to deal with it toward the end of the race, but it's really going to be a close call. But Mike has probably got his sights set more on Mr. Sky Z, who is running in the 5th position, 1.4 seconds ahead of him. Mr. Sky Z at the moment with those old medium tires looks like he's just taking it easy and just trying to kind of ride around and make sure that he gets the points that he needs to win this championship.
Yeah, but the points, always remember, points means prizes here. Oh my days, Mike's closing on Mr. Sky Z here for 5th place here. He's got the DRS now. I'm going to watch it from his point of view. He'll have the... Oh my days, Mike! He nearly hit the wall there. Don't you dare do that. Don't you ever do that to me again there, Mike. He nearly hit the wall there. He nearly hit the wall there. Mr. Skyseed is struggling with those medium tyres here. The Red Bull car to give him some wings. Passing Mr. Skyseed for 6th place here. He makes the move up to 5th place here. Oh, what a move there for Mike. But Mike will try and close it on O'Stephen now for 4th place. Tim.
Now, I'm going to take a look and see just how quickly Luke Bailey on those fresh softs will close in on Mr. Sky Z on those old mediums. You were mentioning it earlier, Malc, that the mediums might not have been the way to go. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe that is the case, because 11 laps on these tires, Mr. Sky Z, he is definitely struggling. And it is still 9 laps to go. Meanwhile, though, Luke Bailey, he has a mirror full of a Williams, but it's not Mr. Sky Z. It is Yas. Yas chasing down that Renault, trying to get by Luke Bailey. He is 0.4 seconds behind, just about half a second, staying within that range, so he will get the DRS going down this straightaway. But will it be enough for him to make a move going into turn 1, as he is starting to gain on him tremendously here? And as they head to turn 1, Yas just not quite close enough, but he does have 1 lap worth of fresh tires. So, 3 laps on Yoss's tires, 4 laps on Luke Bailey. That's not a big difference, but it might make all the difference when it comes to making this move whenever Yoss gets the opportunity to do so. Luke Bailey, just a sitting duck without DRS, while Yoss, meanwhile, is just riding behind him, soaking up every bit of DRS that he can get.
It does. He's just doing everything possible here, Yoss. He deserves more points than where he is at the position he's at 8th place. He's had a wretched season. When I say wretched, it means like he's had a torrid. That's the better. He's had a torrid season where he deserves to win a few races this season, but with some mistakes galore there, it's just cost him dearly here as well. But he is pushing that car to limits, and in fair play to him for trying to pressure on Luke Bailey here for 7th place here. But wants to watch out for as well. Obviously, Yoss and Luke Bailey having a ding-dong battle here. I will not be surprised if Mike gets close to O'Stephen in the later one. Yoss! 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 Yes! Yoss! Yes, Yoss! I don't know what to say. Yes! Yoss! Move! Done! Signed! Sealed! Delivered there from the Williams car! Tim?
That was a really good move by Yoss, and I did not even see that coming. He took me completely off guard, and probably Luke Bailey as well. It looked as though Luke Bailey, when he realized he was there, he just kind of rode around the outside. He's like, yeah, I can't do anything now. This is your position. So Luke Bailey trying to chase him down now, but Yoss is actually pulling away and starting to catch his car-allocated teammate of Mr. Sky Z. So 2 Williams here battling it out for 6th and 7th position. Mr. Sky Z just 1.2 seconds ahead of Yoss in the other Williams. And Yoss, who started 15th because he got disqualified out of the qualifying session, has moved his way up to 7th already and hunting down 6th place. And dare I say it, just might have a very small chance at 5th. But that one might be a bit of a stretch.
That is really close, Tim. I love it how you get so close on that, but I think it's going to be risking it. I can't see him getting 5th. I can see him getting 6th, which is trying to close in on Mr. Garcia now for 6th place, but I can't see him getting 5th. No way. With 7 laps to go, obviously O'Stephen's in the hard tyres, Mike's on the medium tyres, on the soft tyres, sorry. I can't see that happening because Yoss and Mike are the biggest movers here with 8 position here. He might have a 9th here, but Yoss, if he can try and make the move here on Mr. Sky C here, on the 2 Williams cars, having a proper ding-dong battle here. Miss Sky C is really struggling with those medium tyres here. To be fair, he doesn't need to push. He doesn't need to push that car because he's guaranteed to win the title here tonight because TL4 race is outside the points here. And with 1 race left to go after this, it is a 15-point gap. But Mr. Sky does not get DNFs or 0 points in a record ever. But one day will come. Mr. Sky C, try and hold on here. Might have Yoss on the slipstream. Come on! Come on! Yes! Make the move, Yoss, into 6th place here. But Mr. Sky C will try and push that car again on Yoss here. It will be a sitting duck here. Yoss will be saying, oh, I tell you what. Oh no, there's big contact. There's big. Tim.
And Yoss, he saved it. He saves it. Look at that save, Yoss. There you go. That is a will man right there.
Oh, Yoss, he had a bit of contact there with Mr. Sky C for 6th place here. It looked like Mr. Sky C just had the nose ahead, but didn't think he'll get enough room on Yoss's car. That's from the position that I saw from my screen there, but I might be wrong. But Yoss will have to push that car again now and try and get a position here to try and push ahead now. So, looking at the tyre wear now, we haven't mentioned much about Mr. P or Frostan or O'Stephen or Simon as well. They're doing a brilliant job here in the top 4 as well. Oh, Luke's going around the outside! Come on! Oh, he's going to try and go around the outside of Mr. Sky C, but he does not make it. But Mr. Sky C is defending like a madman here. actually, Luke's trying to be a madman, driving like a madman here, trying to get past Mr. Sky Z for 6th place here. Down the DRS straight now. He needs to get past him before turn 4. No! Does not make the move. He does not make... No. I thought he looked like he was trying to make the move there, but it does not look like he was about to happen there. But Luke Bailey could have a chance here to get 6th place here. But with Jos closing in again, while these two having a ding-dong battle, it's anyone's game here. Plus, there could be penalties that could play into the game here, because Brazil's one of those tracks where the penalties galore here, especially at certain parts of the track, especially at turn 1 and 2 and 3 as well. You have to watch out for as well. Tim.
Yeah, I'm just locked on this battle between Mr. Sky Z and Luke Bailey. I'm honestly surprised that Luke Bailey hasn't been able to get around him. I mean, Luke's got only 8 laps on those soft tires, so, you know, to be fair, they're probably starting to show their age, but Mr. Sky Z has 17 laps on those mediums. So it's almost like as if they're more or less equal at the moment. Luke Bailey's getting a better run through turns 1 and 2, but he just can't do anything with it because Mr. Sky Z is there. He does have the DRS though, as they come out of 3 and heading to turn 4. Luke Bailey going to try to go on the inside, but will he be able to do it? No, he will not.
Yes!
Just not enough room there. Maybe he could have outbraked him, but did not do it. Meanwhile, Jos joining this battle as well, and Luke Bailey going around. Jos goes around the outside of Luke Bailey.
Yeah, he went move there around the outside there, Jos. What a move there from Jos there. I don't know if Luke Bailey thought he did not have enough gap there. He went onto the grass a little bit. But watching it from that point of view there, Jos is a man on a mission here. He's on a mission here to try and push pressure Mr. Sky Z as much as possible here. The mediums are at the limit here. The mediums are coming up to the end point here. TL4 is going to the pits. Which I'm guessing he'll try and go for the softs to finish off, try and get the fastest lap point here. So Spud's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings again. Jos, come on! Yes, come on! Oh, you beauty! Makes a move done there. But Mr. Sky Z will be saying, well, hey, lightning can strike twice here, because I'm going to try and chase you down, Jos, for down the DRS straight here, passing turn 3 into turn 4 here. Oh, Jos holds on! Jos is holding on! He holds on for dear life here, and now he can push. He should be able to push. He needs to push before turn 13 there, because of the DRS straight. Oh, turn 14, sorry, at the DRS straight. Tim.
Yeah, this is just an absolute intense battle between Jos and Mr. Sky Z, and this is the kind of battle that I definitely want to see. I really like to see this battle. And Jos just pulling away, though, because he does have the fresher soft tires. So that does make sense, you know, Jos pulling away. But Mr. Sky Z, he's probably not worried about the 6th position at the moment. What he's probably worried about is just running the next 3 laps and not wrecking out so that he can finish in the points and guarantee without a doubt that he does win this championship. That's probably what's going through his mind right now, is just make sure that he finishes in the points and keeps the car clean.
That's all he has to do. To be fair, TL4S is a massive, mammoth task to get into the points tonight here. It's about, I think, let me just check the times as well. He's already a lap down anyway. So Spud and TL4S have already had a lap down from the leader of Mr. P there. So they're still technically on lap 33, not lap 34 that we'll see on screen. But that is what we see, is what we're going to get here. But Mr. P in first place, Simon is in second, Frostan is in third, O'Steven is in fourth, Mike is in fifth, Jos is in sixth, Mr. Sky Z in seventh, Luke Bailey is in eighth, Sheepy is in ninth, Sab is in 10th, so Spud is in 11th, and TL4S is in 12th. Nigel Gash, Lozak and Colin J have all had the DNFs during the race here. We're on the penultimate lap here. We're on the penultimate lap of the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League here. Luke Bailey could have a chance here on Mr. Sky Z now for 7th place here. Watching it from his point of view now on the car. He should have the DRS. He should have the DRS straight now. Needs something here. He needs to try and get that red. He feels like he needs like an energy boost on that car there. As much as possible. Mr. Sky Z holding on. All he has to do, as you rightly said, all he has to do is just finishing the points here. But either way, TL4 Press has got 3 second time belt for multiple warnings now. So he's out. Like I said, Mr. Scorsese, all he has to do is just survive the track here. That's all he has to do. Sab ain't going to get higher up passing Mr. Scorsese because he was the next contender in the Drivers' Championship, but he was like 28 points the gap was before tonight's race here. So Mr. P is coming up to the final bit of the straight line speed now, and he is doing his final lap. So we're on the final lap of this Realistic Performance League now. Tim, who are you watching so far?
Still watching that battle between Luke Bailey and Mr. Sky Z. I would say between Yas as well, but Yas is basically checked out on the rest of them. 1.5 seconds ahead of Mr. Sky Z. Luke Bailey, though, just 0.3 seconds behind Mr. Sky Z, and going to try to take advantage of the DRS to get by him here, as they will head down the straightaway, and they will cross the line momentarily to begin their final lap. Luke Bailey going on the inside of Mr. Sky Z, and he will clear him going into turn 1, and that's going to allow him to get the better run out of turn 2 and pull away from the driver who may very well be crowned George champion in just less than a minute's time. Mr. Sky Z just has to finish the race in the points position, and even if he didn't, I do believe that it is at this point a guarantee. Mr. Sky Z, your driver's champion. Yeah,
I think that will be confirmed. We'll get the point stuff ready to go, but I was trying to see if there was a battle there between O'Stephen and Mike there, but at the moment here, Mr. P coming up to the final corner now, and he has just won the Brazilian Grand Prix there, so well done to Mr. P there, who finished in first place there. Well done to that. Simon will finish in second place there. Ferocious Dan will finish in third place here. O'Stephen will finish in fourth, but Mike will be on the tail here. Mike try. O'Stephen will finish in fourth. Mike will finish in fifth. Yoss will come up to the final bit now in sixth place here, but they have a trail of Luke Bailey and Mr. Sky C. Yoss will finish in seventh. Luke Bailey, Mr. Sky C, your fourth time. He's moved up to sixth place here as well. Your fourth world title win there. Well done to Mr. Sky C. Congratulations to him. He has just won 4 world titles in a row. That is a new record there at the Invictus Racing League. Brilliant stuff there, and considering he's only had a few wins in all that 4 seasons, that is remarkable stuff there. Sheepy will finish in 9th, Sab will finish in 10th place as well. So just waiting for some of the guys to get themselves prepped up and ready to go. We will bring Mr. P, Simon. I don't know if Ferocious Dan has got his mic with him, but we'll invite him in. If he doesn't come, then we will try and do the top 2 drivers here. But well done to Mr. P for finishing the Brazilian Grand Prix in first place. Well done to Simon there to finish in second place there. But yeah, Mr. Sky C winning his 4th world title here. That is another remarkable achievement there. Like I said, a new record there at Invictus Racing Leagues. Absolutely fantastic stuff as well. So we'll just try and get some more confirmation. Let me just do the incidents part, and then we will do the standings. So here are your race classification for the Brazilian Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. You got Mr. P in first, Simon in second, Ferocious Dan is in third, O'Stevens in fourth, Mike fifth. Mr. Sky is in 6th, Yoss is in 7th, Luke Bailey 8th, Sheepy 9th, Sab 10th, Sir Spud 11th, TL4FS 12th. Nigel Gash, Lozak and Colin J are the only ones who've had the DNFs during the race tonight. So I'll be inviting Mr. P, Simon, possibly Froshtan if he's got his mic with him. If he hasn't, then we'll do just to do the top 2 as well. So I'm just going to get... I don't think Froshtan's got his mic with him, but I'll invite him in, but I don't think he'll be there. But we will do the short questions tonight. I promise you that, guys. We will do the short questions tonight. So I'm just going to try and invite Simon. Bear with me a sec, guys. We will try and invite Simon in. But I think he has left the session, but we'll try and get Simon in. Just bear with me a sec, guys. We will try and kick off here. Yeah, Simon has left, I think. But we'll try and invite Fresh down, but I doubt. So just we'll invite him in. If not, we'll just have to do Mr. P for the race here tonight. If you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here as well. So I think Simon's left. I think Mr. P's left. So sorry, not Mr. P. Fresh Stan has left. So Mr. P, before we carry on, can you please make sure allow voice to be shared is set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party, go to the party settings, and there's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So I'll be talking to Mr. P about his battle with the race tonight, and then I'm going to go straight to the finale race of Mexico, of his thoughts of that track. Mr. P, are you all set, ready to go?
Yeah, all good, mate.
All good. So, I'll talk to Mr. P about his thoughts of the race, and then we're going to go straight to the last two questions of the race of the Mexican Grand Prix. How you doing, Mr. P? You all right?
Yeah, good.
How do you feel? How does it feel to win at Brazil?
It's happened.
It's happened.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Tell us in your own words, in the shortest words if you can, your thoughts of the race tonight.
I'm surprised. I had a bit of a nightmare last night during practice. I managed to break my wheel. So at 6 o'clock tonight, I picked up a new one. Totally different make. So I've literally had zero practice on this wheel as well. So yeah, obviously going into quali, looking at the quali times, I knew the chance was there, but I knew Zimon and Nitschgash would be a threat. So it was just a case of managing the race really, and then deciding whether to go on to mediums or hards. Yeah,
it was just a tough call there, but you did a brilliant job there, to be fair. I know we haven't seen much of you on the stream there because obviously there was so many battles behind as well, but because did you say this was your first time on the wheel tonight?
First time on this wheel. I broke my wheel that I had yesterday. Okay. It totally broke, so I had to go out and buy a new one. It's a different make. I've gone to a Ferrari from a Logitech, so it's taken a bit of getting used to.
Yeah, the Logitech is a perfect one as well. Not sponsoring or anything like that, but Logitech is good as well. But with so many battles galore, I know you haven't had much battles there, but with zero practice as well. Did you expect much tonight, or did you just try and hope for the best before you found out you won?
Not at all. I wasn't expecting anything, to be honest. I honestly didn't think I'll be anywhere near the podium, really, to be honest. And then obviously when qualifying was going on, and I think it was about half second gap. It was about 5 tenths to second, I think. I knew the opportunity was there, so it was just a case of managing the race really, and just keeping the others behind me. I mean, right at the beginning of the race, I pushed like crazy. I had the fuel in rich, and I had ERS in pretty much high for the first three laps to break DRS, because I didn't want Zimon and Nitschgash in that DRS.
Yeah, you did. It's one of those races where you have to push on and do so well as well. But you did a brilliant job there, Mr. P. Well done for tonight. I know we haven't seen much on the stream, we do apologise, but to win at Brazil is an iconic track, like the famous drivers of Ayrton Senna and all the other stuff as well, and you did a brilliant job tonight to win at the Brazilian Grand Prix for your Realistic Performance League on round 10 as well. So last two questions for you, mate. Next week is the finale, or not round 10, sorry, round 11. This is next week is the Mexican Grand Prix for round 12, the finale. What was your thoughts of Mexico, and what are your expectations for next week?
I don't mind the track. Let's see how things go. Obviously, I probably know I'm not going to be sitting in a Ferrari again for next week. I'm not lucky enough like some guys to be on the podium and still get a good car, so no doubt I'll be dropped down, but I'll just see what I can do.
See what you can do. But Mr. P, I know you're the man with a plan, as always, and I know you do a good job, as always, on the driving. But if that's your first win on the wheel, a brand new wheel, I'm a bit worried now what's going to happen in the next few weeks or few seasons here. If you're still in with us, you might do well. You might be one of the good contenders here if you can keep that consistency up as well. So well done, Mr. P, and I wish you all the very best of luck for next week for the finale. I hope you do well as well. You can stay if you want, or you can shoot off. It's up to you. But thank you very much for joining tonight, Mr. P. We were meant to have Simon and Fresh Stan, but I don't think they're in the chat, or in the commentators box. So we'll have to stop the stream a little bit here. But final thoughts from Tim. What's your thoughts of the race tonight?
I think it was a really good race, and it was a good follow-up from last week. And it decided the title, and it was not, your average, everyday, run-of-the-mill, oh, this driver has done really well this season. This driver's going to win the title tonight if he finishes in this place. No, I mean, it was like it was going down to the wire, because TL4S, in early going of the race, it really looked like he had a good shot and that he could maybe keep his head in this title fight. Then he had the accident with Lozak. Not sure what exactly happened there. Not sure if even they're having words about it right now. They might be. But what I do know is that it killed TL4S's chances at the championship, and only that was what was able to decide the championship here tonight. Mr. SkyZ has done a wonderful job the past 4 seasons. He's done a wonderful job this season, and he is very, very deserving of that title. It would have been fun to see it travel to just one more race, but it just didn't happen. Nonetheless, good job to Mr. SkyZ. Good job to TL4S on keeping his head in there and just trying to fight and do everything he can. Good job to the podium finishers, and good job to all the drivers out there.
Yeah, following on from that, well done, Tim. Following on from that as well, well done to Mr. SkyC. Congratulations to him. It is the 4th time in a row. I think that, as I said, I keep saying it, that is a new record at Invictus Racing League's 4th World Drivers' Championship title for Mr. SkyC. Absolutely amazing stuff from him. And, well, commiserations to TL4S, because he pushed Mr. SkyC as much as possible. But tonight, as you mentioned there, that will be madness stuff there from TL4S. I'm sure he'll bounce back next season there. I think we've just lost Tim there, so we'll try and stop the stream in a moment or two there. But well done to, like I said, what did Mr. Sky say? Well done, commiserations to TL4S for the battle there. Hopefully he'll try and bounce back next season there. But we will be back next week for the Mexican Grand Prix. Thank you to everyone that's watched the stream there. Make sure you like, subscribe for the final time on this race, on this video here. And this was the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League. I was your host with the most, Malc, and with me, as always, with the greatest American commentator of all, Tim. He'll be with me next week for the finale at the Mexican Grand Prix. We'll find out if there's any more positions that need to be sorted there. And well done to Mr. P for winning in tonight's race as well. And like I said, I wish you all a very good night. Good night, guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.